Hello and welcome to the 50-cent tour of Tuesday, March 19th, 2013. It's almost springtime in the Northern Hemisphere, and Benjamin Fulford believes that something good might happen today, mostly because it's his birthday. But we'll look a little bit at what he had to say yesterday in his report, which didn't come out until pretty late. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus, and we will commence our tour. Survivalist faces charges for teaching in self-built school. This guy looks pretty cool. I want to go to his survivalist school, I think. He's in North Carolina. It's a very interesting story about his life. And he is now facing the threat of criminal charges for running a camp that didn't comply with modern society's strict building codes. So he's trying to do something good, trying to share his knowledge, and he had a kind of funny comment here, something about modern inspectors know how to measure a board but not how to build a building. That pretty much sums up a lot of the problems with our culture, doesn't it? Want to take a quick look at Pharma here. Giant pharma company claims releasing data on drug safety is illegal as it's confidential and commercially sensitive. Well, hello. The purpose of the FDA is to prevent drugs from being released that are going to be dangerous, and we know that that has failed. So having that fail, we need another means to determine what's safe, and we have to use the news, and mostly the alternative news, right? This is a terrible tragedy. If you are a parent, I mean, even if you're a pet owner, I suppose you can appreciate a part of the agony these parents have suffered. Baby girl dies hours after getting 5 vaccinations. And I introduced this the way I did because I don't want to just use this poor family as a political statement. These are real people. She was a real baby. And there's real suffering here. Benjamin Fulford talks about Cyprus. Benjamin Fulford talked about a few things yesterday in his blog, and it was very encouraging. He was optimistic about the Pope, and it generally was an encouraging message. He did talk about Cyprus, though, and this issue is still before us. Is Bitcoin the new safe haven currency? Bitcoin's surge after Cyprus bank raid. I don't know if Bitcoin is a safe haven currency. I don't know how safe it is. I'm not sure if the safety can be guaranteed. I know that it's going up. But this time, Ron Paul weighed in on competing currencies, Bitcoin and Cyprus. Have not watched this video yet. It's 20 minutes. I fully intend to. I have a feeling that it is well worth watching. And Lyndon LaRouche was a guest on Alex Jones's radio program today, and I always enjoy hearing Lyndon LaRouche. I don't agree with everything he says, but once that video is up on YouTube, I'm sure that's going to be something worth watching as well. There is video to go along with the audio of that. So this video is SOPA and 3 Ways to Think About Intellectual Property by Dr. Stephen Davies. And it only takes about 3 minutes, so I won't even try to sum it up. You can watch it for yourselves. very informative, very interesting. And to go along with that, Minnesota woman fined $222,000 for music piracy, gets new trial. But ruling in RIAA case unlikely to change outcome, says defense lawyer. That's a bummer. If she get a jury trial, this should be nullified, jury nullification. She copied some songs. She did, I don't know, 1,700 or something, substantial number of songs. But then made them available for distribution over the Kazaa file sharing network. You know, this is like loaning your next door neighbor a CD, only on a bigger scale. We need to, I think it's important to consider what's really going on here. And that video by Dr. Stephen Davies helps put it in perspective. I wanted to just drop this in as a kind of a heads up, I guess, to any veterans that you might know, or if you are a veteran. If you're late paying bills, we will prohibit you from ever owning a firearm. Michael Connolly, constitutional attorney and United States Army veteran. That is pretty bizarre. So last week, I think it was, I talked a little bit about credit ratings and having your value determined by how you fit a matrix of behavior that serves banks well. That's basically what a credit rating is. And the banks themselves do not live up to the standards that they impose upon us. So, do you want to serve those standards, uphold those standards? Meh, not so much. The Walking Dead TV series, and I just wanted to mention this. I'm a fan. I feel a little odd about saying that, but I see a lot of issues addressed in the show that are issues for us. I know some people are freaked out the fact that they kill zombies. That some people feel that this is a bridge to get us to see people as being dehumanized. I feel like there are a lot of other undertones here that are more positive than negative. One is the people who are faring well are basically law enforcement, survivalists, preppers, people who have known before this how to take care of themselves, for the most part. Not 100%, but for the most part. Some of them were criminals, drug dealers even, but they, unfortunately, those are places where people can learn valid survival skills. And another issue is they honor American immigrant tradition of the Scotch-Irish culture. They're not anti-male. I see some traditional values shown here in a light that is rather positive. And I bring it up this week because Sunday night they rescinded the Second Amendment. I mean, not officially, but there's a person who was considered a threat not to true safety of the community, but to the reputation of the leader. And the leader who required the weapon to be taken away is a true tyrant who projects one image to the group he leads, and behind the scenes is an entirely other person. I feel like it's a good parody of the elite. If you have friends who are fans, maybe you can put it in that light for them. I haven't talked much about Russian warships headed to Cyprus. I'm not sure what that's about. If you read the Benjamin Fulford blog from yesterday, I think there are some clues about why that might be happening. There are other conflicts raging. I guess some toxic gas was released somewhere in Syria, and that could potentially instigate a war, some kind of a clash. And of course, there's the North Korea thing. So I want to bring in this prophetic word. Apologies to any who are not believers, do not believe in prophecy. February 19th, 2012. Don't look to the political climate. A people movement is coming. This was from a little over a year ago, but there's not a time limit on it. And the reason I brought it up, I had it in my mind. This is Kris Vallotton saying this. I saw the Lord blowing freezing cold air over Iran and North Korea. It created impossible conditions for war. He literally froze their war machines. It was a political climate change equal to the fall of the Iron Curtain. Like I said, I wanted to just highlight that. And the link is on the Elijah List. I'm not advocating the Elijah List. I used to read it a lot. I'm not crazy about how they present things now. However, Kris Vallotton, I guess I could advocate with a fair amount of confidence. He's not a truther. He probably still thinks that 9/11 was done by, he probably believes the party line on that. But I have only been awake since 2008, so I don't use that as a measure to exclude people's ability to hear from God. We're all at different places on a continuum on how aware we are and how asleep we are. So thank you, Kris Vallotton, for hearing from God. This is a great prophetic word, very encouraging. She who will walk in the dark is glad of your company and thanks you for joining her on the tour today, and hopes that you will remember that dawn is coming and weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. I hope you will take care, love one another, and insist on liberty.